Yo, what is going on, guys? So we got a clip here today of a woman who is going to explain to us what she looks for in a man now that she is dating over the age of 40. So let's see what she has to say.
So here's the thing. When I was in my 20s and I could rattle off to you all the amazing traits of a man that I was looking for, I'd be like, okay, physical attributes. Really nice eyes, had the perfect little crinkle in the corner when they smiled. I don't really care about color of eyes, but nice lashes, but not too ladylike. Decent brows, they frame the face. Strong jaw, but not too chiseled. Nice teeth, had to be straight, had to be white, and a nice smile, but not too pretty boyish. Still had to have some sort of rugged look about him. And then physically fit, but not too muscular, right? Just fit enough to make him look like he worked out, but not so much. More like he hiked and was active on a regular basis.
And you can see where we're going with this video, gentlemen. I mean, girls who date under the age, early 20s and stuff like that, their standards through the damn roof, okay? But now that she's 40, and we're going to see what her preferences are now, things might look a little bit different, okay? So when she's dating when she's younger, she's looking for a guy who looks really good, aesthetically, takes care of himself, goes to the gym, nice smile. She hasn't mentioned tall yet, but let's not kid ourselves, being tall is in there. Okay, and we're going to wrap up the video and see what else she has to say. But before we crack into it, gentlemen, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord and the locals links in the description if you haven't already. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, locals has an option for that as well, and the link for that is below the video. But guys, we're going to see, as she continues to list through these things, just how her dating preferences have changed over the years and how her standards have changed. And it's a bit of a long video, so hang out until the end, until she finally reveals the difference.
And then emotionally available, but not too sensitive, because I wasn't into that. I don't know, a guy who wasn't afraid to cry, but didn't cry in front of me. And then mentally smart, confident, but not too confident, but just confident enough to be able to hang out on his own when I want to hang out with my girlfriends, and just confident enough to give me the space I needed to do my own thing when I needed to do my own thing, but only on my terms. Wasn't always gonna give me that space, because if they're always giving you space, then there's too much space, and where's that coming from? Why are they giving you so much space? I don't know, there's something fishy there, right?
You might be watching this video right now thinking to yourself, Taylor, surely this is just satire. It's actually not. Okay, this girl right here, girls will have preferences like this. I want him to be emotionally available, but not too emotionally available. I want him to give me space, but I want him to not give me too much space. I want him to work out, but I don't want him to look like a pile of muscle. I want him to look like this, but not like this. Okay, these are actual preferences that girls have, man. And let me tell you, when girls are dating in their early 20s, they're going to have these standards that are sky high through the roof. Okay, but as reality starts to humble them, as they start to get a little bit older, and their dating market value, for lack of a better word, starts to fall off, things start to get a bit more realistic for them. Okay, and this is something that men have to be accustomed to from a very young age. You want to be a guy who's dating, gentlemen? Oh, your dating options as a young man will be slim to none unless you look very good. For the most part, men have such a hard time in dating, okay, and girls want to walk around with all of these standards, okay, and and then they complain about the fact, oh, why can't I find a guy? Why can't I get a man to commit to me? And also, I'd like to say this as well. So this lady is over 40, and in a previous video, I believe she announced that she has Botox as well. So just bear that in mind. And she's, these girls will do everything that they can to slow down the aging process, okay? And what they failed to realize was that if you want to choose a partner, you want to choose a guy that meets all these criteria, right? You better be choosing him early on, okay? Because after they get past 40, man, there's no going back, okay? Every second is, deteriorates their value, and they don't seem to understand this. So what they do is they treat men like crap in their 20s. They ghost guys, leave them on red, be rude, all these sorts of things. And then they want to turn around at 40, and we'll see what she has to say about that.
Had friends, but not too many friends, and definitely not girlfriends. Even though I would say it was okay to have girlfriends, I would prefer that he said yeah, I mean, I like girlfriends, but I just don't have friends that are girls. I don't know, that's just not me.
Yeah, you see, the thing about that is, right, girls want you to be attracted. This is again something that they can't have. Okay, like they want a guy who's attractive to girls, but they don't want girls to be attracted to him, and they don't want him to talk to other girls. You see what I'm saying? Right, guys. If a girl is interested in you, right? Let me phrase this another way. Excuse me. Girls are very rarely going to be interested in you if there are no other girls that want you. Okay, this is something called social proof, gentlemen. Okay, girls will chase men that other girls are into. If you're a guy and you've got no girls, it's gonna be very difficult for you to get some. You know, and that's how it is usually anyway. It's just, it's the same thing with making money, guys. You heard the saying, you got little money. You got to spend money to make money. It's the same thing with girls, man. They don't want that guy who has no friends and doesn't have any girls that are interested in him. Oh, he's weird. He's creepy. He can be a perfectly normal guy. He can be a great, fantastic guy. But maybe he doesn't have girls that like him, and maybe he doesn't look the best. Oh, all of a sudden he's gross, he's creepy, he's all of these things. Gentlemen, I would encourage you, after you've watched this video, to go and look up something called the halo effect, okay? People perceive attractive people as having other qualities that are also good, like intelligent, smart, funny, all these sorts of things, right? And it's just, girls, like what they'll do is they'll complain about a guy that has women chasing him, but at the same time will chase that guy and try and lock him down, right?
Yeah, all that. Now that I'm in my 40s, late 40s, my priorities have totally changed. Like, here's what I'm looking for. Ready?
We're ready.
I just want a guy
Yeah.
who, can help me fold the fitted sheet. I just need, an extra set of hands.
And that's what she wants now. A handyman, guys. Someone who's just there for her. Right? Where's the stability? Right? Where's the where's the guy I was promised? Where's the guy at the end of the rainbow to save me when, my plumbing is broken or I need someone to help me fold sheets? Where's he at?
Extra set of hands. That's really... So I've gone from here, there, right, to, down there.
Yeah, and that's what happens when reality starts to kick in, okay? All those guys that she wouldn't give the time of day before. I mean, gentlemen, all you have to do is go on Tinder, go on Bumble, whatever app is in your country, your state, right? Go on a dating app as a guy, as an average-looking man. Good luck to you. Okay, these girls, what they'll do, man, these same exact girls will get on there. They'll, say, 2 sentences to you and then ghost you, right? And you'll think that it's something you've done wrong. No, right? These girls will treat men like garbage because they have options, right? Because they have other guys to choose from. And then these same girls will complain, right, when a guy doesn't want to commit to them, he doesn't want to take them on a date. All he wants is, to see her for 30 minutes here and there, right? And then she'll complain about being in that situation. It's so funny to see, right? They will engage in behavior and then immediately complain when the same behavior is done to them. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, it's so, it's offensive, or how come they don't value my time? You think girls like this value your time, man? I want you to rewind the clocks a bit. Let's just say this girl was 23, 24, 25, right? Do you think this woman would respect your time? Or do you think that she's going to be showing up 25 minutes on a date, late on a date, apologizing and all this kind of crap? She probably wouldn't apologize, right? I mean, really, guys, it's all there. Okay, man, these girls, they expect so much of men, and yet, what do they give in return? Hell, even, let me just put it to you this way as well. These girls in their 20s, they're not pleasant to be around necessarily, guys. It's not as if they have the best conversations. It's not as if they're the most polite people. It's not as if they're the most caring people. A lot of these girls walk around with the idea that I look good, and that's all that matters. And that's as far as their blinders go, man. And I don't say that to be rude to the girls. I don't say that to be nasty to them. But all I'm saying is, you as a guy, you might be looking at a situation like this, oh, finally. Here's the really concerning part before we move on to the next part of the show, okay, guys? You might be looking at someone like this, and maybe you're a guy, maybe, let's just say for the sake of argument, you're a guy, you're not the best looking, you're average height, you got an average job, okay, and you work your entire life, and you finally save up your life savings, you get a nice house, right? And then a girl like this, she goes, oh, well, now she tries to enter your life, and she says that she loves you, and oh, I need you so much, you're so wonderful, because she needs an extra set of hands, and she needs someone to save her, to come and save her, gentlemen. Do not be doing that. Men will work their whole lives, right? And then get with a girl like this and think that they won. No, absolutely not. But gentlemen, we're going to be jumping into the next part of the show momentarily here, and this is just a quick Reddit story that I wanted to share with you, that one of you sent to me the other day, and I thought this was, not the other day actually, this was recently, and this is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, this this story is about a girl who gets rejected, and it's a bit of a hassle for them. So let's just jump right in and see what she has to say here. Let's just move this up slightly. I asked a guy out for the first time, and he completely ignored me. I've had a huge crush on this guy for a few years now, but I had a boyfriend who I lived with, and he was a neighbor, so I did my best to ignore it. I eventually ended things with the boyfriend, in part because I knew I didn't feel the way I should about him if I couldn't stop thinking about someone else. I just... okay. Anyway. The guy I like just moved out suddenly, and I'm not sure, but I think he might have been fired from his job and is staying with family. Even knowing this might be the case, I figure I've liked him for so long and now he's gone without me ever knowing what could have been. I decided I'd finally work up the courage to ask if he'd want to get coffee. I was pretty sure he liked me. I frequently caught him staring at me and checking me out. He'd always greet me with a big smile. He'd awkwardly linger around me like he was trying to work up the nerve to talk to me. And whenever we did talk, he'd have a big smile, hold eye contact, and try to make me laugh and keep the conversation going. I thought he had a thing for me, but was just shy and probably spooked by the possible boyfriend. I'm shy, but I also get a fair amount of attention, and his friends were always staring at me trying to talk to me when we'd see them, so I thought maybe he's intimidated, and have to be the one to make a move. I want to say thank you to Jake on the Discord for sending this to me. Guys, stuff like this is so funny. Okay, because what'll happen is girls will think, oh yeah, he likes me, he's an easy catch, like I've got him for sure. Okay, and then they figure out maybe they weren't as hot as they thought, right? Maybe they weren't all that. Let's continue. I texted him the other night, and he does read receipts, but left me on delivered until the following evening he finally opened my text. He never responded, which hurts infinitely more than if he just took a second to say, sorry, I'm not interested. This feels particularly cruel, and I don't understand why he'd want to hurt me, and I was just showing interest in him, especially when he's probably going through a hard time. Notice how, before we continue, notice how she treats it like a favor. Right? Like, oh, I'm talking to you, so it's a favor. And, we're going to be jumping into another video in a second, guys, another TikTok. Because there's this thing going around at the moment that girls like to call pretty privilege. And we're going to be cracking into that. But, man, they just think that they're a gift, don't they? Right? Guys, if you tell a girl no, if you leave her on red, it is such a huge hit to her ego. And these are the same girls that will complain about men in their inbox, right? And then not reply to them. So I just want to point this out, okay? I texted him the other night. He never responded, which hurts infinitely more than if he just took a second to say, sorry, I'm not interested. This is so ironic, right? When you hear stuff like this coming from a girl, because this is how a lot of men feel, right? A lot of men shoot their shot, and by the time you've done it a few times, gentlemen, you don't really care if a girl rejects you anymore. You couldn't care less. I mean, a lot of these girls don't even have any form of their life together, right? And but notice how they complain when it happens to them. Right? Oh, woe is me. It's so terrible. But let's crack into the end, right? I feel like I'm an idiot and it has me questioning everything. Just why? Why would you hurt someone like that? This girl has no idea what rejection is, man. Guys have to go through this, times it by like a lot more. Okay? And yet, what is this flair, by the way? Support needed. But gentlemen, we're going to crack into, another one of today's videos. But before we do, just make sure you subscribe as I pull up the video for us to watch.
Hi, ladies.
And this is going to be an amazing one. Hopefully we don't get copyright striked for the, the music that plays in the background here. But gentlemen, this lady is going to tell us all about pretty privilege. Okay, and guys, look. Girls don't seem to understand that, people don't seem to understand in general, when if you want to get on camera and you want to call yourself pretty, ironically enough, it makes you less pretty. It makes you not pretty anymore. Okay, and people can't seem to understand this, right? They want to get on camera and think that they're these most wonderful human beings and that men should just, do these things for them. And then they got on camera and they open their mouth and they say that they're pretty. And it's like, oh, well, there it goes. But, let's see what she has to say. I've been a bit too mean before she said anything. Because I think from memory she does make some sense in here, but, we'll have to see.
Hi, ladies. So here are some things that I've noticed as an attractive woman in society. And this is not pretty privilege or anything. This is just me giving you guys my experiences on how people treat me. Yes, I do get a lot of stares. And I get a lot of compliments too. Some people gaze, some people scowl at me. Although I've noticed the people who scowl at me are usually women. I have never in my life noticed a man scowling at me, so...
That's actually a really good point. And that's something that not a lot of people realize is that women are each other's, own harshest critics. They want to say, "Oh, men, men pick on us for how we look, and they say all these nasty things to us." Man, have you seen what girls say to each other behind their back? I kid you not, man. Girls will be friends with each other for like 10 years, and they won't like each other. Right? Like both of them will strongly dislike each other behind their back and think that all of their actions are terrible and that, oh, she looks like, she doesn't look the best, shall we say, because I've got to keep it YouTube friendly here, right? And they'll still be friends. I mean, guys, women absolutely go at each other. You have no idea. Like, we as guys, when we have a disagreement, it's like we can get into a heated argument, but then like a day later, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, we as guys, we can yell at each other, but then afterwards, it's like nobody cares at all. The problem's solved. These girls, man, they'll plot against each other for years. Oh, Stacy took my boyfriend, or she looked at my guy like this, or I don't like how her hair looks, or she, like all this stuff, man. You've got no idea. It's so bad.
It says a lot. I've been told that I come off very intimidating, although I'm not mean at all to people. When dating, I have met everyone's family, parents, sisters, brothers. I've always met them, even if it's not serious and we've just met like a month ago.
Do you know why she says that, by the way? Like, just before we continue. So look, girls will have different issues in relationships with men, right? Like, we as a guy will typically have issues with a girl if she goes behind our back and talks to some guy, or goes behind our, it's always got to do with like, is she kind of stepping out of the relationship and this sort of stuff. And it's the same for girls as well, but girls will get mad and they'll be upset with you if, for instance, you don't introduce them to your friends, you don't post them on social media, you don't introduce them to your family and stuff like that. Because what that signals to her is that she hasn't got your commitment. Girls get really frustrated when they don't get your commitment, and girls look down on each other when they can't secure the commitment. You see what I'm saying? I'll try and paint it a bit more clearly. So, for example, when a girl gets married, all other girls are jealous of that. They go, "Oh, she's married. Oh my good," and they feel it, right? They feel hurt by that. They feel jealous of that. By that, they got a fear of missing out, right? So one of the problems that girls have in relationships is they want to make sure that you commit to them, right? It's a paradox, right? They'll want you to commit to them, but the more you do, the less they like you, okay? But the reason why she brings up the family is because she doesn't want to appear as though she's meeting and talking to men who are not committed to her, you see? So what she's saying is, "Oh, I've dated guys, but don't worry, I've met all their families. I'm not easy, right? I'm not a girl who's for the streets, shall we say. Don't worry, guys and girls, I've met all their families. I'm a good girl, and I do things by the books." Now, if you want to believe that, that's totally up to you. I personally don't. But I just want you to notice how during videos like this, and during most videos that we watch, girls, they have to smooth it over and they have to make it look like they don't engage in hookup culture, for example, right? It's something that you'll very consistently see. It's all about like preserving their social status and how they're perceived by other people. It's very funny how every girl thinks that they're the exception to this kind of culture, right? They think that they're the exception, and it's kind of funny because I've got to ask yourself, wow, if all girls are the exception, then how come we have this culture, right?
I've been invited to events and meetings with business partners. I'm aware now, as a woman in her late 20s, that I've been used as like a trophy. In my early 20s, of course, I don't allow that anymore. I've been told by women that they thought I was a bitch when they first met me. I've been told by plenty of men that I look expensive, even though I never had on anything expensive. I've been excluded out of friend groups, even if I created the friend group. And lastly, I was...
Guys, just because you quote unquote make a friend group, like it doesn't mean that those people are yours. You know what I mean? Right? And I will say this as well about people getting in relationships to make trophies of one another. That is absolutely true. A lot of guys don't... What girls will do is, like we mentioned earlier in the video, right? Girls will chase guys that other girls chase just to show their girlfriends, "Oh, look what I've got. Look who I managed to bag." right? Oh, I got this guy. He's better? What girls will do, man? I kid you not, is they'll get a boyfriend just to like one up their other friend who has a boyfriend, right? So they'll be like, oh, they'll get it like a taller boyfriend or one that looks better, earns more money and stuff like that, and they trade them as like status symbols a lot of the time, right? It's about look what I got, look what I can show off. Okay, this is something that happens a lot in dating, and people don't really realize it, right?
Told as a child that it's unattractive to believe that you're pretty, even if you are. Let me know if you want part 2 of this. Hi, ladies.
It's not unattractive to believe that you're pretty. It's unattractive to go around saying that you're pretty. It's called being humble, right? Like that's something that's just sorely lost, isn't it? Right? Like these girls think that oh, when I show confidence, how come society doesn't like that? No, it's not confidence that you're showing. It's arrogance. That's why people don't like it. I can't believe, man, they want to pass it off as if they can't differentiate the two, and maybe they can't, but it just kind of blows my mind. But gentlemen, we're going to crack into one final story, or maybe two, before we wrap up today's episode. So as I pull it up, guys, don't forget to subscribe, and we're just going to jump in to this one. So let's have a look. This one is titled, My 22-year-old female girlfriend hung out with a male co-worker tonight alone and never told me. I am a 26-year-old male and I am concerned. And just right off the bat, this is something I'm talking about, right? Is when we as guys, we tend to get way more concerned when our girl is like hanging out with a dude or something like that. Girls actually have less of a concern with physical cheating and more so with emotional cheating. But anyway, my girlfriend and I have been dating for 2 months now. We've both committed to one another and said we wanted to do this right if we were going to commit to one another, meaning having mutual respect, transparency, and communication between us. Well, we work together. I've known her for 3 years before we started dating, but fairly informally. I got moved to her department and we hit it off hard and fast. We've spent a lot of time together since then. I've met her parents and have hung out with her family on multiple occasions. We've had bedroom fun, had sleepovers, etc. However, we agreed to keep our relationship on the down low because we work together. This is important. This week, myself and another male co-worker took our summer vacation leave. I know that this co-worker also likes my girlfriend. He offers to drive her home, tries to flirt with her, etc. all the time. She's friendly with him, but at the end of the day, she always leaves with me. Well, I went 4 hours away from our city to visit my parents for the week. My girlfriend and the other male co-worker stayed back in our city, but my girlfriend, who is not on vacation, is supposed to drive up for the long weekend to meet my parents after work on Friday. This afternoon, I asked my girlfriend what she was doing tonight. Perhaps we could have a Netflix party online. She said that she has plans for the next 2 nights, but never specified doing what exactly, and I never asked. I just said it was no problem. Well, I'm on Snapchat, and all of a sudden I see that her and our male co-worker are at her house on the Snapchat map. They were there for 5 hours together, presumably alone unless her divorced mother didn't go out for the evening. They may not have been alone. So they may not have been alone, right? I never got a text back from her when I asked her a question about the weekend. I never asked her about our co-worker or what she was up to, just a general question. So she spent 5 hours with this co-worker and then went to bed without texting back. I'm trying to be level-headed on this, but it seems like a red flag. I'm a little hurt and frustrated. It seems so snaky. I've straight up told her that I know our other co-worker has a crush on her. She's given me no reason so far not to trust her, as it's early in our relationship, but I know this guy's intentions and I've warned her about it before. He came to the department only a few days after me, so it's not like they're old friends. Now, the first time we've gone multiple days without seeing one another, she hangs out with this guy alone for 5 hours and completely ignores me. She also told me that this is her first serious relationship, as she never seriously dated any guys in university, which she just graduated. I have not given her any reason to believe I would hurt her or cheat on her. She knows how I feel about her. Gentlemen, we're going to take a pause right there. Okay, and I just want to make this very clear. Anytime you sit down and a girl knows exactly how you feel about her and the level of commitment in a relationship, please understand that girls get bored. Okay, now look, let's not be naive here. This is a very, sus situation, for lack of better words, okay? But what a lot of guys don't understand is that if you get into a relationship and you make everything absolutely clear, and I'm not talking about boundaries here. If you say, look, hey, I love you, I care about you, here are my feelings for you, and you lay it out all on the table, please understand that that's going to run a lot of girls away. And they might not say that it runs them away. They might sit there to your face and lie to you and say, hey, I like a guy who's emotionally available, and I like a guy who's open with me and stuff like this. More times than not, gentlemen, it's going to run a girl away. Okay, because what a lot of men do is they'll get into a relationship and they've been told all these things, man. Like, just show her how much you care, show her all these things that we go over on the channel. Okay, and what ends up happening is they go and do this, right? And then they start to see the first transgressions, right? Your girl goes over to another guy's house, etc., etc. Because what you're actually doing when you do this stuff, right? She knows how I feel about her. You're actually pushing her away there. Why would she chase? Why would she be interested in you if she knows exactly where she stands? Let's continue. How should I proceed? I could wait to see what happens tomorrow, but I will not be double texting her. I know my worth. I also wouldn't entertain the idea of hanging out with another girl alone who I know liked me, and I've told her this before. She told me before that she doesn't fancy him, but here we are. Is she looking for male validation? Reconsidering our relationship? This guy is 3 years younger than her and quite overweight, but the sneakiness is concerning. And he just leaves it off there. Guys, this is particularly funny as well. So let's just look at this sentence. If you want to, we talk about red flags on this channel, gentlemen. Here's a giant red flag for you, okay? Look at this. She also told me that this is her first serious relationship, as she never seriously dated any guys in university, which she just graduated. Gentlemen, that's like 4+ years right there, typically at uni, okay? And she wants to sit there and say, I've never had a serious relationship. What do you think that means, gentlemen? And I know a lot of you who watch this channel who aren't new to this stuff, you know full well what that means. But what that means is that she's been seeing guys non-seriously. She's been having fun with dudes and not securing the commitment. This is exactly the kind of behavior that the girl in the earlier in the video, tried to say that she didn't do. Right? When girls say, "Oh, I haven't had a serious relationship," you think that what have the rest of her relationships been? Because she's had something. Okay, girls don't go through 4 years of university to come out the other end and they haven't talked to a guy. That's not how it happens at all. But guys, we're going to wrap up today's show with one more quick story, and I'm going to pull that up momentarily. Don't forget to leave your comments and your thoughts as we go through these, by the way, guys. It's always interesting to see what you have to say. And like I say a lot, you guys seem to pick up on things that I miss all of the damn time. So feel free to leave your opinions and things that you noticed in these stories. But guys, we're going to pull up one more story momentarily as I kind of just pick one for us to look at that is not too long. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this one. This is from a younger couple, okay? So I, a 19-year-old male, and my girlfriend is 18. He just checked her phone for the first time and found out that she cheated. Hi everyone, I've been with my girlfriend for 5 years. She has broken up with me 3 times before, and on 2 occasions went off with another guy very shortly afterwards, weeks afterwards. Excuse me. Guys, when you, look, if you're a man and you've been dating for a while, you know this to be the case, okay? There's been times in your life, and again, this is for guys who have been in multiple relationships, right? Where you might break up with a girl and you will notice her instantly with another guy within a few weeks. That relationship began before your relationship ended. I don't care what anyone says, guys. Girls have men lined up and they know who they are going to next. So don't be like, oh, our relationship ended. And then in the next couple of weeks, like 2 weeks later, she was with another guy. She was already gone. She already was with that guy during the relationship, man. And I don't necessarily mean physically, but, she certainly knew that she was going there next, okay? So don't buy this stuff of, she was with a guy shortly afterwards. She was already with the dude, right? Each time we broke up, she would say, I don't care enough or haven't done enough for her, etc. This always made me feel very inadequate and as if I wasn't enough. I love this girl, but right now I am wondering what for. I have mugged myself off time and time again. Mugged myself off time and time again. I don't know what that means. And beloved her manipulation and lies. This has always made me feel like a bad person or I am in the wrong. A week ago, I spoke to one of her former best friends who fell out with her a month ago. It came up in a conversation that my girlfriend had been with 2 other people that I had no idea about. Her friend had been told that everything with my girlfriend and I was completely done and I shouldn't be affected. Hearing this made me feel sick. I felt dirty and I could genuinely feel my whole body sink. I saw her today and tonight while she has been sleeping, I checked her phone. I felt horrible about doing this because it's something I told myself I would never do. It's true. The levels of her lying makes me feel sick to the bone. I am physically shaking. She would see him and then ask me to come over to look after her when she was intoxicated on the same night from going out with him. Her former friend told me not to mention it because they still work together and she really doesn't want any more problems to arise. What do I do? Please someone help. I feel so lost and heartbroken right now. I guess I've only done this to myself. Any replies are much appreciated. Thanks. Gentlemen, we're going to have to call the episode there. It is getting a bit long, but something to mention before we wrap up here is the fact that this is what I talk about on the channel, guys, when I say that what women will do oftentimes is they'll have a guy that's kind of like on call to solve their problems, but then they'll also have the guy that's more for fun, right? It's a dualistic mating strategy, if you will, right? Where they'll choose the fun guy, but they also want the guy that'll take care of them at the same time, okay? Don't be the guy, don't be the fool that's looking after her while there's some other guy looking after her, shall we say. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's episode there. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below. Make sure you come and join the Discord and the Locals links in the description, gentlemen. If you would like to support the channel, Locals has an option for that when you join, but otherwise it is free. And yeah, we're going to call it there. So as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next video. Peace.